And it is, do you think climate change is an important issue? And if so, what do you intend to do about it? 2 minutes.
You know, the folks around this district recognize the risk posed by climate change. We have an industry that depends on our winter sports. We have industries that depend on tourism. And we have tremendous opportunities in this district to take a new direction when it comes to energy, something that the Congressman Hinchy has been a great leader on. We have in this district, that was just yesterday at New York State Solar Farm, who within a year could be in a position to supply power to 3,000 homes in this region. We have a company out in Oneonta, Ioxis, that makes incredible high storage capacitors, made in America completely and exported to China for the energy of tomorrow. These are the great things that we have going on here. The Congressman has a different priority for the future of energy in our region. His pet project, as it's been described, is to build a new nuclear power plant in upstate New York, a new nuclear power plant. At the same time, he has already voted to slash the Department of Energy safety program, including laying off 6,000 Department of Energy safety inspectors. That is not the future of energy in this country. It does nothing to address issues that affect us. We already have seen with the storms that have ravaged this region the dramatic impact of violent weather as promoted by the slow effect of climate change. So we need to come together in a bipartisan basis in Washington and deal with this problem and not have a conversation between folks who are trying to deal with the problem seriously and those who want to blame global warming on sunspots. The fact is, a serious problem requires a serious approach and a new direction for energy in this country, not building a new nuclear plant, but investing in the wonderful renewable industries that we have here in the Hudson Valley and Catskills.
Mr. Gibson, 2 minutes.
Well, let me just start by once again reiterating, I never voted to end Medicare. You know, this was considered the lie of the year. I voted for two concepts to get the conversation started, to save Medicare from bankruptcy, and to protect it and strengthen it going forward. It was the CBO. The CBO said that $716 billion was taken from Medicare to pay for the 1.7 for the president's health care bill. It didn't come from me, it came from the CBO. With regard to climate change, look, we've just gone through two 500-year storms in the last 5 years. There's something going on. And, you know, I think we need to do more work along with New York City's DEP, town and county officials all throughout the watershed, 5 counties, 41 towns. There's got to be more work to prepare for these natural disasters and to really have more fairness for us here. Look, there's more that could have been done. Reservoirs could have been brought down, more silt removal, strengthening stream banks, because we can't have the kind of destruction that we witnessed last year. We lost people, we lost property, and some of that didn't need to happen. You know, with regard to clean and renewable energy, I have a very strong record of this. You know, I support I voted 9 times in the House to increase money for efficiencies and clean energy. And I voted 6 times to protect amendments that were trying to take money away from that account, to the point where, you know, some groups down in DC, they don't like my voting record on that. But we lead the nation when it comes to clean and renewable, and I'm proud to say that. I work with farmers to help them get grant applications for solar power. And let me just say on nuclear power, indeed, I looked into this. I looked into it quite extensively. And because of my term limits, and because of the fact that the #1 issue really for us is transmission, over a year ago, I decided not to pursue it. Yet my opponent, he's bringing it up now because he's trying to score political points. It's clear that I'm not pursuing it any further. But I do believe that we need to work to drive down gas and home heating prices now, but also get less reliant going forward. And we're going to do that by being the country that perfects clean renewable.
1 minute, rebuttal, Mr. Schreiber.
You know, once again, we're speaking here not about my spin or the Congressman's spin. We're speaking about facts and the Congressman's voting record. Congressman voted as part of the Paul Ryan budget to take that $700 billion out of Medicare and use it for tax breaks for the millionaires and billionaires. That was his vote, not my vote. I wasn't there. He voted for that budget, and that's what it did. When it comes to the Congressman's record on energy, it is equally poor. Rather than focus on those renewables, he has voted to give billions of dollars of taxpayer subsidies to the big oil companies and voted to roll back more than 40 years of regulations of the EPA saying that they can only take into account the economic impact of the regulations. 40 years of bipartisan commitment to support for the EPA, he voted to change it. That is not the right direction, going backwards by decades. The right direction is not more taxpayer subsidies to big oil, not building a nuclear plant, which even after what happened in Japan, the congressman was said to brush off concerns and say it was going to happen here. It's to invest in the incredible opportunities we have here in the Hudson Valley for renewables and green energy.
1 minute.
Well, first of all, again, the Medicare, the money was put back into Medicare. So I just, we just utterly disagree, and people can look up the record on that. With regard to energy, first let me say on nuclear power, we get 25% of our electricity right now from nuclear power. So again, I looked into that, and I decided it wasn't feasible in the time that I'm there. But I don't regret looking into things. This is what I'm a lifelong learner, and I try to help people in every way I can. With regard to energy, I grew up in a working class family that was crushed by the rising gas and home heating prices. I'm trying to help now because I know I got constituents. They put their disposable income in the gas tank. It's not right. We can do better than this. We can drive down gas and home heating prices at the same time that we look to perfect clean and renewable energies. This is part of my frustration in Washington because it's supposed to be like shirts and skins. Democrats are on one side, Republicans on the other, and you have to choose. I don't believe that. We can do both. This is a great country. That can be both.
Thank you. The next question, we will start with